Bonjour, and welcome back to the French campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So this is a little bit weird, but I no longer get an information pop-up by hovering over these land invasions or the provinces. So who knows what's going on with the army stuff here. I do get it hovering over the ports though, and the naval invasions. So we know this is gonna work. This is probably gonna work too. I think it's still factoring in the tonnage from the ships we sunk here last battle. I think that was here, right? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, we're building 2 new battleships. These ones, Justice class. I also need new cruisers eventually. But I think I want to wait until I get a new heavy cruiser hull before I start building something. We're 1 year away from getting the first rangefinder. Large guns are progressing. And we're like 2 years away from getting twin tubes for the torpedo launchers. Which is going to be great, because that means we can essentially double the amount of torpedoes launched by each torpedo boat. Right then, so what now? Have I opened a naval invasion this turn? I guess I must have, because there's nothing available here. But we can now, unless I already initiated one for the East Philippines, we can next turn invade them. Spain has battleships and light cruisers sailing around. What do they have left? I guess they're continuously building things. So yeah, they got a small navy cobbled together and building 7 more. Let's see, what about the rest of the world? Britain is building 26 more ships, and they have 69 already in service. Well, that's quite the navy. US also getting up there. Let's see, where was oh, here, almost at the top. Yeah, I guess the Ottoman Empire will get involved. And also Chile. I don't know what they got against me. But yeah, we might be fighting them. Onwards. +7 with a bunch of nations. Alright. And I guess this gets us to war with the Ottomans. But first, we gotta sink this light cruiser. That's a regular AI design, I think. Doesn't have the SD suffix, so it's not one of mine. We did take Morocco, though. We're just gonna use the 2 battleships for this. Maybe. And have the armored cruisers follow along. I'll just send the rest home. Anything that could potentially get damaged by that enemy light cruiser just gets to go home. And they are on low fuel. They're not going to be closing with me anytime soon. Battleship's already scoring hits. You can save on that ammunition. Hiding in that little smoke screen, but that's fine. We're going to be spotting them long before they get close enough to do any harm. Like there. Set your guns to save too. What's your armor? 1 inch. That's a very light cruiser. Guess the secondaries are going to be doing much of the work here. Because with only 1 inch, my 12-inch armor piercing will probably just overpen. And 1 inch is just enough that the HE will not penetrate. 9-inch guns are doing well though. These have slightly more advanced ammunition, so I guess they're... I guess the HE will penetrate. Because I've got my armor calculator set to like 30% and this is -5. It's actually less than 1 inch. Yeah, it went down. No problem. Anyway. Argentina and Chile. Yeah, it was the East Philippines. Oh, here we go. Now it works again. I don't know why that didn't work before the battle. That was weird. But anyway, the army is not doing anything. We are invading the East Philippines. That's great. That's a pretty valuable territory as well. That battleship decided not to bother with my naval invasion of the Philippines. I guess the Spanish AI decided that, no, defending Morocco has the highest priority. But they're too late. Now we're going to take Western Sahara. Let's see, Spain is all the way at the bottom, aren't they? We're at -99 with Ottoman Empire and Chile. They're not quite at war yet, but it's pretty clear that we're gonna be. Chile has a nice little navy. How about the Ottomans? They too. 4 battleships. They're fighting a lot of people though, so who knows if they have a navy left by the time we actually go to war. Same with Chile. Western Sahara. Yes. Taking Morocco is great because that province typically gets oil very early. And having oil is always good. I would say that, wouldn't I, being Norwegian and all? Yeah, the German Navy has taken Estonia. They're not quite going to be able to take central Russia. That's also something I did before starting the campaign. I went and adjusted some of the port sizes for some regions, like Kronstadt and a couple others, because I've noticed that the AI likes launching naval invasions, especially early on. And some of these core regions have been very easy for the AI to take from one another. So I've seen in multiple campaigns that Germany has lost Western Germany to British naval invasions early on. Russia has lost Central Russia, and Japan has just gotten steamrolled by everyone. So I've adjusted some of these port sizes up, making the provinces a little bit harder to take, which is working out good for the Russians here in this case. Let's see. I would like to maybe send some ships over here, and never mind. Spain doesn't have anything left. The Americans have taken everything. I do have some light cruisers like sitting here. Guess they would be fighting the Chilean Navy, unless the Chileans are. Well, they're not fighting the U.S. They're fighting the British and Argentina. How's Argentina doing? They got a nice little navy, and I saw they were building some of my designs too. We have the transport capacity back up to 200%. I can drop that down a little bit. We're gaining a nice bit of money. That's nice to see. We are falling behind on technology despite having maxed out the tech budget almost from the start. Just first couple of months of the campaign, I had to reduce it a little bit just so I could get that transport capacity up to 200%. But it's been up at max for a while now, and we're still falling behind. Partly because of me using the priorities right now, but I've been mostly using one or two. But it's mostly because that's one of the difficulty changes I made to the campaign. So the AI gets a 1.8 multiplier to research instead of a 1.5, which is the typical for legendary difficulty. So on the one hand, I would kind of like to fight Chile because it's fun. But also, they're in South America, and that seems like very much none of my business. But, okay, that's not the Ottoman Empire. Chinese Empire. Alliance. No, thank you. Military conflict in Russia. Are they rebellious now? Not quite. So we're not quite at the Soviet Union yet. I was really expecting to fight the Ottoman Empire by now. These Spanish ships are going to be completely out of fuel by the time they get anywhere near me. I guess it also makes sense for them to be abandoning their Pacific things. Is anyone else rebellious? Brazil, very distrustful. Belgium, concerned. Russia is distrustful. Argentina, very distrustful. China, distrustful. Be interesting to see like how much of an impact those revolution changes are gonna make to the campaign. Now, Spain, can we take your mainland? $113 for northern, 130 for southern Spain. Western Spain is 92,000. I don't think I have that kind of tonnage. Well, if I combine everything, yes. Let's send them here. Strike a port or something. So that's 40,000. Also 40,000. The 2 battleships I'm building will not be ready for another year. But that's another 32,000 tons of invading power. So what to do now? Whom to fight? Let's slightly improve relations to the Chileans. And we're gonna see if we can get one of those going to war prompts with the Ottomans next turn. Where is the Ottoman Navy though? Here it is. That's about all of it, I think. That would be quite the battle. Yes, I agree. And we did get a war with Chile. East Philippines taken. Like, I guess I could take the tiny islands too. With this force here. While this fleet will have to go fight the Ottomans somewhere. I guess we got a bunch of stuff here in North Africa that I could take. Or my army really isn't doing anything to Spain. Oh, they got some ships here. They did take the Dominican Republic. Are they still fighting the Americans? No. They're almost at war with the British. Guam, Northern Marianas. Philippine Sea, North Ocean. Ah, like that's a different sea region. Let's just send them to Guam. We can leave like one cruiser there to take it. And then the rest can do an invasion of the Caroline Islands, which is worth quite a bit more. Convoy battle. Light cruiser on light cruiser. 3 transports. Let's go. Start very close. You got 4-inch guns. Is this the one that didn't have any armor? Yeah, it is. In this case, my torpedo cruiser will actually be very effective. They can't even go through my extended belts with those 4-inch guns. What kind of extended belts did you have? 0.5? No, 1. 1 all over. The decks are 0.5. It's probably more than you need in 1890. So this has now been a refit with a Mark II 6-inch guns. So knocking out some main guns and an engine. My 3-inch guns are going through the belts. My ship prefers loading HE with those 6-inch guns, but they're not going through the main belts. I think AP's overpenning. Yeah, main belt overpen. So maybe AT would actually be better here. And 0 on the superstructure. I guess I don't have too many 3-inch guns on this cruiser. These transports are completely unarmed. And we actually lose a torpedo. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set my main guns to fire at those transports. And let the 3-inch gun handle the enemy cruiser. If the 3-inch gun is just gonna traverse around, which it's trying to do. Guess the 6-inch guns can do some work. Oh, we're closing in on the transports. So my other light cruiser class would actually be much better for this, because they got more secondary guns. And I think the 7-inch guns would actually be able to HE pen this light cruiser. It's a little bit frustrating. If this thing had just had a little bit more armor, my my 6-inch AP would actually be able to score penetrations. What's up with the 3-inch gun? Is it stuck or something? No, it just doesn't quite have the angle. There it goes. Your 4-inch guns have any armor? No. They're coming in with torpedoes? Scuttled. That's pretty nice. I do like that with the new animation and everything. Now, let's go snack on some transports. speeding up to 21 knots. We're going to be able to catch them pretty soon. And these guys are not even armed. These 6-inch guns in danger of running out of ammo. But we got them. I think with the next refit, we get some tech to save some weight. Put some more 3-inch guns on this. Nice. It took a little bit longer than expected sinking this light cruiser. But a win is a win. And we got some transports as well. Now it looks like we're going to be able to take Equatorial Guinea off of Spain. And now the army attacking from Morocco should be able to take Western Sahara, but not before the Navy takes it. So, I guess we're going to be fighting the Ottoman Empire now. How's the war with between Germany and Britain going? Well, Britain definitely has the bigger navy. 10 battleships now. TB90s, that's my design. L-class, that's a shared design I downloaded off of Brother Munro's Discord. Someone had made a shared design ship pack, actual multiple that I downloaded. That's fun to see. Might be fighting some human-made ships that I didn't make at some point. No alliances, thank you. It's 100 million. And -2 naval budget in exchange for +30 with the British Empire. Or I can take a -50 with the British Empire. I can afford the -100 million. That's 10 months of saving up. That's not too bad. But the -2 naval budget, that's gonna hurt. Also, I just don't like it when they try to extort me. Japan is coming in on my side. We got a new torpedo boat hull. I'm losing a lot of transports. A lot of transports. So I'm gonna bump this up. And that's something to take out that cruiser. And in the meantime, Tripolitania. Yeah, we're still plus 49 with Britain. So that minus 50 didn't really hurt too much. There. And then this one next. I should be able to just leave a light cruiser or something there. Take care of that. Move these two in. Or this task force, rather. And send some light cruisers down here to take care of the two Spanish ones. No one is taking care of these ones, though. Unless I send these ones over. Actually, I'm pretty, there's not that many, range guns on these. I thought I had more. Anyway, I think one could take out two of these fairly easily. Right. And if Spain didn't have enough trouble before, they're now also fighting Portugal. Who's also fighting the Ottomans. And Chile. Thanks, Portugal. I thought I was setting up a light cruiser on light cruiser fight, but apparently we're fighting a squadron of torpedo boats. And these are the ones I designed. So they have a lot of torpedoes. They only have a 3 knot speed advantage over my light cruiser, though. Alright, let's go level CA. Let's see how you handle torpedo boats. Where are your 3-inch guns? Here. And there. They're all on low fuel. So they do not have a speed advantage. Let's turn and sail parallel. If we can. Should actually be able to reduce down to cruising speed. Get my accuracy up a little bit. Alright, 2 kilometers away. Splitting hit on the first one. 3-inch gun doing good work. What are the nets? Falling out of line. Scoring some hits on that guy. Doing 15.5 knots. If I reduce down a little bit. No need. I think the gun's got him. I was thinking like maybe get him into my torpedo range. Where I would just be just outside of his. That should be the first torpedo boat down. Because when they're coming from behind, they're going to be in range of my torpedoes before I'm in range of theirs. Because of lead, right? If their torpedo boat is here, I have to aim here. But they have to aim like here to hit me. If that made sense. That's the first one to die. Alonso Pinzon is still afloat. I think with better powders, the HE pen on these 7-inch guns would be a little bit better. They'd be able to handle those Spanish light cruisers better than the other class of light cruiser we had. We'll see. Once I get the Mark II 7-inch guns, we'll give these guys a refit. probably design a new class of light cruiser too. The 3-inch gun to fire at that guy, which is almost sunk already. Scuttling. Nice. Decent work. I mean, not too many victory points, these only being torpedo boats, but still. And we have a couple meetings. A battleship. That's not what I expected to be fighting with my light cruiser. Yeah, this one is not set up for that. Had it been the other class, maybe, because those have more torpedoes, but no. I'm gonna withdraw. Now this is the one I wanted. Light cruiser on light cruiser. After this, let's see if I can find a squadron of torpedo boats somewhere to go sink that battleship. They should not be able to go through my armor. You have a lot of guns, though. Those things. It's too much of a wave there, concealing half my ship. That looks better. Yes. Still no hits being scored. No serious ones, anyway. Guess we gotta close in. I do have the speed advantage. There we go. building up speed. Let's try AP with the 7s. Yeah, no, he's overpenning. They're coming close now. Just outside of my torpedo range. At least I'm outside of theirs. Uh, 3-inch guns, I won't be firing AP. My guy. Ammo detonation, engine damage. Excellent. This armor penning the main belt with my 3-inch gun. Love to see it. Yeah, my 7-inch HE is just getting blocked. It's not high enough pen. I guess the AP is just gonna go straight through, but that at least it's something. Was once again up to a single 3-inch gun to do all the work. Let's see. Yeah, potentially we would be able to get HE penetrating hits on the guns and superstructure. Potentially. set those to aggro just in case I stray within my torpedo range. And I want the torps launching as soon as possible. Seven-inch guns are running out of HE. We're gonna get them on crew loss. I'm pretty sure. That was terrible. My own torpedoes detonated. That's a lot of flooding. But they're very close to crew loss. Scuttling the ship. Not too much damage structure-wise, though. There we go, scuttling. That we took. Well, that could have gotten ugly. Right, transport losses are going down compared to last turn. Oh, Britain. Are you, I don't want you taking that. It's gotta be mine. Hopefully I'll have enough time to do a naval invasion here before the British take it. Some of these in here. We're gradually pushing in, taking southern Spain. We don't need too much tonnage here, taking Tripolitania. So, we're gonna leave one light and a heavy. For the naval invasion. And of these ones, the heavy cruiser will go there to fight the enemy light cruiser. Right. You can do that naval invasion on your own. Like 2 light cruisers coming back. I'll have 1 heavy meeting it there. Right. That's kind of splitting my forces here because we're not at risk of meeting any like organized resistance from a full task force or anything. Well, the Germans might be able to take this. So anyone else at risk of rebelling now, just before ending the episode? Let's just take a look. China, distrustful. Argentina, very distrustful. Belgium is concerned. Brazil, very distrustful. Russia, very distrustful. Ottoman Empire, very content. We'll see about that if we can sink some of their ships. And Spain has already rebelled, so they are... they have that box ticked as true. Two heavies, three lights. Then I have some spare heavy cruisers somewhere. What's the required tonnage for Cyrenaica? 11,000. I can afford to send out 2 heavy cruisers, maybe escorted by a light. There. And meet them at Kalitz. Okay, so that's it for now. Let's see, medium guns. Ooh, that's a long time before we get those 7-inch guns. Like that, 2 years. Then we can refit the level CA class light cruisers and maybe design some new ones. Yeah, it's like 2 years. Then we get new good stuff. That would be September of 1895. But first, we gotta fight the Spanish and then the Ottomans. Goodbye, and take care.